black, simply because her self-styled raceman grandfather ardently and perhaps foolishly wished for her racial self to be socially constructed that way. Such is the absurdity of the history of race and racial designations in the United States of America, stemming from the law of hypodescent, the proverbial one-drop rule. Perhaps Eleanor will choose to dance the dance of racial indeterminacy, moving effortlessly back and forth across the color line. Or maybe she will claim a social identity that reflects the percentage of her ancestors over the last 500 years who were of European descent. Or maybe she will keep a photograph of her grandfather in her pocketbook and delight in refuting or affirming, as the case may be, the sheer laughable, tragic arbitrariness of the social construction of race in America. The most important thing is that this be her choice. By now, most of us are all too familiar with requests to check this kind of box. We also know all too well what the search for the black box, the flight recorder, sadly signifies in the event of a crash. That device preserves a record of the truth amid disastrous circumstances. It is what survives. For me, the black box is also a powerful metaphor for the circumscribed universe of being within which people of African descent were forced to attempt to construct a new identity after emerging on this side of the Atlantic after the horrors of the Middle Passage, transported here on an inhumanely cramped slave ship, another circumscribed enclosure, another black box of sorts, to provide the labor to create an economic order that would fundamentally reshape the economies of Europe and the emerging United States. But it also is a resonant metaphor for the social and cultural world that they created within this circumscribed space. The people the abolitionist Martin R. Delaney named a nation within a nation, and whom the great scholar W.E.B. Du Bois called a small nation of people. For me, this figurative black box is a concept that is quite useful for understanding the history of African Americans in this country, similar in resonance to the haunting metaphor, the veil, coined by Du Bois in his classic 1903 work, The Souls of Black Folk. The black box has a long and curious history both inside and outside of black letters. And like all metaphors, its significations have multiplied through its long life. It was the Yale legal scholar Stephen L. Carter who defined it in the manner most closely related to that box that my son-in-law checked, which will define so very many of Ellie's choices, from small, seemingly insignificant things, to the manner in which her application to college is treated, to how her physician will think of her risks for certain medical conditions. Carter defined his own box in this way. To be black and an intellectual in America is to live in a box. So, I live in a box, not of my own making, and on the box is a label, not of my own choosing. Most of those who have not met me, and many of those who have, see the box and read the label and imagine they have seen me. The box is formed by the assumptions others make when they learn that I am black, and a label is available for every occasion. In Carter's usage, the black box is a place of identity confinement through predefinition, akin to the late literary critic Barbara Johnson's brilliant definition of a stereotype as an already read text. The black face walks into the room, and at a glimpse, the viewer knows all that they need to know already about the person wearing the mask of blackness. Blackness is a veritable repository of African American historical meta-identity, a box containing a long list of connotations, significations, stereotypes, folklore, myths, jokes, boasts, assumptions, predispositions, and counterclaims. Good luck, Carter is suggesting, shedding any of those.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.